Liz, walk us through this breaking news regarding Derek Chauvin and the situation around George Floyd. It's a chilling breaking news.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie, for having me back on. Good to see you, and Happy New Year to you guys. But yeah, there's been a lot of developments just this week in this case. This all stems actually from a defamation lawsuit that was filed against myself and Alpha News from the fall of Minneapolis. This is from the assistant police chief. Katie Blackwell is her name. She filed this defamation suit back in October against us, saying we did not depict her testimony correctly in the fall of Minneapolis, and also she took issue with some wording we used in Their Lying, the Media, the Left, and the Death of George Floyd. That is the book that I first put out that led to the documentary. So as part of this motion to dismiss that we filed in this case earlier this week, we have 34 current and former police officers who filed sworn declarations to say that this knee-on-neck restraint that she testified about in Derek Chauvin's trial was, in fact, a part of police training. 14 of these officers go so far as to say that she perjured herself, that she lied on the stand in Derek Chauvin's criminal trial back in 2021. So really some bombshell court filings that have taken place. She brought this fight to us, not liking how she was depicted in the fall of Minneapolis. But this was our response to that lawsuit. It's a 113-page brief in all that was filed in Hennepin County Court earlier this week.
Can you refresh our audience, and you had the movie Fall of Minneapolis, of all of the protocol that wasn't fallen in the criminal prosecution of Derek Chauvin?
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time in the documentary itself dedicated to that, to what jurors saw, but I think really what they did not see. And that was a huge part of this. The MRT, the maximal restraint technique, which you can hear Thomas Lane actually talk about in the body camera footage. Again, the body cameras footage that's kept from the public for months in this case. But MRT is not allowed in Derek Chauvin's trial back in 2021. Judge Peter Cahill at the time said there was no proof that Chauvin signed his name in the last time MRT was taught to police officers in Minneapolis. So in his ruling, this is why he decided that that would not be allowed in Chauvin's trial. So this is a big part, and then you have Katie Blackwell take the stand, who says under oath that she does not recognize the technique that Derek Chauvin is using. And this is a clip that they continue to use in the trial again and again, a specific exhibit where you can see Derek Chauvin's knee near the neck of George Floyd. She says on the stand that this is not a part of training. However, these officers have now come forward to say that they took issue with her testimony, that the depiction was completely correct in what we used in the fall of Minneapolis, for 30 seconds that we used in the documentary itself. And they now want to go on the record and say that she lied, that she committed perjury in Derek Chauvin's trial.
This is amazing. So if you win this case, is there any hope of reopening the Chauvin case itself?
Yeah, so Charlie, I've already been in touch quite a bit with Derek Chauvin's new attorney. Greg Joseph is his name, and he released a statement to Alpha News on Tuesday calling this a very significant development, and he says it will have direct impact on our approach for post-conviction relief. Just to remind your viewers, Chauvin has a state and a federal appeal ongoing at the moment, and he now plans to use what we've uncovered and put forth to the court in his post-conviction relief that is ongoing at this point.
I mean, you just look at the civilizational importance. Can you speak to how this was not just a single act? This particular incident was extrapolated to be like the greatest injustice since I can't even think of since the assassination of Martin Luther King, right? I mean, and yet there's so much mystery around it still. What questions do we still have remaining regarding the events that day that we still haven't been able to get an answer?
Well, I think what's interesting here is we took these questions, again, back to the mayor of Minneapolis. We've been asking now for years, what did you mean by this, that this technique was not trained? Also, now, what do you think that your assistant police chief is being accused of perjury, probably in the largest criminal case in Minnesota history? He has yet to answer those questions. The current police chief, Brian O'Hara, has issued a statement since these filings came out to say basically that he stands by his assistant chief, calls her a person of moral character and courage. We confronted her. People can see this on my X account and also through Alpha News. It's just at Liz Collin or at Alpha News MN on X. But we were there when she walked in to work, asking her about these court filings. So what's the truth here? Who's telling the truth? Is it you, or is it these 34 officers that have now filed these sworn declarations? And I will say, even since these court filings, many more police officers, current and former, have come forward to say, yeah, she lied. What can we do to push back and go on the record now? But it seems like a completely different time that we're living in at this point, that perhaps there is a hope finally for truth.